Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? It says my Wi-Fi connection is weak, but hopefully it's working okay. I'll bring it up on my iPad here. Oh yeah, it looks fine. Whoops. Okay. So today I am creating a card for the Global Design Project Challenge. It's Make a Card Monday. How was your weekend? We had a nice weekend. So it's Debbie Scott here, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Brigden, Ontario. And it's Monday, June the 15th. So I just wanted to talk about this stamp set before I get started on my card. This is our product of the month. And it's so adorable. Super, super cute. So the images are they the same? They're, I think, a smidgen. Just a little bit bigger, if not the same. They're super close to what's on the front of the package here. It's even hard to tell. I think they're a little bit bigger. So this stamp set you can get for $7 when you purchase $100 worth of product. So we have happy birthday, thank you for all you do, hi friends, sending love, and just a little note. Love, of course, the little Highland cow. The snail is super cute. We have a little koala and a little penguin. So adorable. So I'm not using this one today, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like and remind you to get your orders in before the end of the month or before this one sells out, because I actually forgot to check before I came on and make sure it was still available. Last week it was, but you never know. So yeah, I am going to be creating a card for the Global Design Project Challenge. I'm actually doing a wedding card today. I had an order for a wedding card. So I'm going to be creating a wedding card. So this week we are casing the designer Jay Soriano. I'm not 100% sure how to say his last name, but his cards are fantastic. I follow Jay on Instagram and he has some amazing cards on there. So if you don't follow him, definitely go on to Instagram and give him a follow, because he has some great inspiration on his page. So what I liked about Jay's card is I liked the wood grain background. I love wood grain paper, so I did pull in our Country Woods wood grain paper. So I'm going to be using that on my card, and then I kind of like the two little buckets here with the flowers in them. So that's kind of what I used as inspiration from Jay's card. I'm pulling in our, what's it called? Barely Blush. This is one of our new in colors for 26 to 28. So it's just a standard size card. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Oh, one thing I should mention, if you do play along with the project challenge, when you post, if you use this hashtag, then everyone can see how you have interpreted this design. And even if you aren't playing along and you just want to check out everybody's cards, if you just use that hashtag, then you can see the cards that everyone has made for this week. So then I grabbed some of that wood grain paper, and that's going to go there. But before I lay it down, actually I'm going to bring in my next piece too before I do my stamping. So this is, I actually don't know. I did it, it's about 1.5, but then I cut that edge off. So yeah, it ended up being right around 1.5 inches. And it is 5 3/8. long. So that's gonna kind of layer over top and go like that. So what I have used here, I used a bunch of products today. I kind of went through my stash and found lots of fun things to play with. So step one was to use the Bordered in Beauty dies, and I've used this one here and gone down the side. So that needs to be your first step, is to put it through with the die. Then I brought in this embossing folder. This is in our new catalog. Well, our catalog's been out for a while now. May till August. It's in this catalog here. And it's part of a suite with some Lily of the Valley. So I just did, where did I go? Right about there. So I just did that there because I wanted some of these Lily of the Valley because I think they're pretty. So that went there. So I'm gonna add a little bit of green blending right here because my flowers are gonna go here. So I want some green in the background. So I've pulled in our soft seafoam. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of green here at the top. And that's gonna kind of help our flowers ground to our paper. So it doesn't look like our flowers are kind of just floating. So I am kind of tapping off on this side because I know that's going to be covered. So if I kind of get some harsh lines from my brush, excuse me, it's not going to be a huge deal because they are going to be covered over. So that's why I am doing that. That's going to go like that. That's going to move over. There we go. So just a bit of green there in the background. I might go over just a little bit further. So then I've brought in our Life in Bloom stamps and dies. So I've cut this image out and then our little pot here. And I just cut those out in white for now. And I'm going to use same technique to color those. I'm just trying to find my scrap paper here. Here it is. So I'm going to add some color to these flowers, just using a blending brush and just a nice light hand. Starting at the bottom and working my way up so that it's going to be darker down here and kind of lighter towards the top of the flowers and the greenery. And this one is a small blending brush. I have small ones and I have some big ones. It just kind of depends on your project, which one will work better. I have different ones for different colors. I did happen to have a big one and a small one for green for some reason, and so I went with the small for that, for the smaller pieces. So now I have brought in our basic gray. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of gray to this flower pot because I didn't want it to be stark white on my page or on my card. Starting over on this right hand side and then working my way up so that it's darker on this side and lighter on this side. just to add a bit of shading. And I think that's enough. I don't want it super dark. So I think we'll stick with that. And yeah, I'm done with that for now. Actually, I'm gonna do my stamping because this ink pad, I get ink everywhere. So I'm going to do my next stamping too before I put that away. So on Jay's card, he's got the 2 pots of flowers. So I thought if I bring in the stamp set, I can stamp this, and so it will kind of look like the flowers are in the background. I am going to stamp off so it's a bit lighter, so it doesn't act as a focal point on my card. Just need that scrap paper again. So I'm going to stamp off, then I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch and up around an inch. And that's where I'm going to stamp that in the background. So it's just nice and light back there. I could have had this a bit darker, but I must not have pressed hard enough. That's okay. The other thing I'm going to stamp is my greeting. My greeting is coming from a different stamp set. Delicate Whispers, wishing you happiness and love. But that would be good for a wedding card. And I'm going to stamp that in full strength with our basic gray ink. Okay, now I am done until we get to the inside. I'm just going to set that aside. We can adhere this down. I think I'm actually going to use my practice one. I used just a lighter piece of the 12 by 12 sheet, and I also did a better job at stamping this, so that's the only reason I'm going to switch this out. I just was happier with this one. So we're going to center that on our card. Have some of that beautiful fairly blush cardstock showing around the outside. And then we are going to lay this piece down here. And we're going to do that flat. So I did mention, I don't know if I finished my thought. I did mention that you want to do your die cutting first, then run it through the embossing folder. And the reason for that is if you do it the other way around, if you emboss it first and then die cut it, it'll really flatten out your embossing and it won't be nearly as raised up. So you want to die cut first and then emboss. And then this is going to go about there. I love this die cut image, so I cut it out using some of that soft seafoam green, which is probably kind of hard to see on video. But I thought about kind of putting it in the background. I was like, no. So I'm gonna set it down here, and that's gonna just leave a spot for my pot to sit on. So it kind of looks like it's sitting on something and not just kind of floating in the middle of our card. So I should have, if I had been thinking, I would have used adhesive sheets on the back of this, but I forgot. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Wish me luck, because I always end up with liquid glue everywhere. really don't need a lot of it. It's pretty good. It's a great adhesive. It sticks super well. Just, I'm messy. All right, so we're gonna lay that right there. And I have still got some all over the place. I'm gonna lay our pot down next. I'm just trying to think, do I want to pop it up? I think maybe I will. I think I'll put this down flat. And the same, I'm gonna use some liquid glue. I'm gonna put my pot on first. I'm just popping the backs off of those dimensionals. We're going to set that down there. Now I forget how I had this. To cut out my sentiment, I've brought in the Gears and Textures dies. I love this one down here. It's so nice and small if you don't want like a huge sentiment on the front of your card. It just works perfect for a lot of these little sentiments. So I used that one and I die cut this out. And this is gonna go here. I kind of forget exactly how I had this now. Yeah, it was over top. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. Where'd my flowers go? And that one's going to go there. So yeah, I think that's good. Right there. Okay, let's put this on next with a little liquid glue. Just a little dab here and there. There we go. I have so many stamp sets on my desk right now. It's such a mess. So then I've cut out these flowers and I cut those in the Barely Blush. So I love when they do that, when you can cut 4 out and just run it through once. Because I want 8 of them to put over top of here. And I'm just going to use glue dots. It's going to show in the center, but that's okay because I'm going to put embellishments over top. These don't match up perfectly. It's just kind of whimsical look. It's just, that's the way it is. It looks cute like that. There we go. The circles in the center don't line up. That's okay. It's going to all be covered in the end. So not a huge deal. Whoops. My kitty was making just a mess last night. He found my bowl of twine. So there was twine all over the house when I got up this morning. Like it was everywhere. He loves those little, I don't have one sitting here right now. He loves those little wooden spools that the twine is wrapped around. Loves batting them around. But man, there was a lot of twine all over my house. I don't have an actual door on my craft room. It's kind of just a half door that we used to have a dog years ago, and it was just enough to keep the dog out, but the cat can jump over it apparently. So I'm gonna have to get my husband to get me an actual door. I think we still have the actual door. It just needs to be hung up again. Make sure I'm doing this right. So we don't want any dimensionals in the center here because I popped up that pot. So if we just put dimensionals on either side, then that will be nice and flat. Alright, so that's going to sit there. I just want to make sure it's centered in the middle of this piece here, that die cut. I want it to be straight. Obviously, that was a little off. There we go. Alrighty, so for our embellishments in the center, I found these. These are retired. You can't get them anymore. I'm not sure what color these are. I think maybe this is Pool Party. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I feel like these little ones are light enough that they match perfectly. Let me try this end here. There we go. That works better. I like when I can use up old embellishments because let me tell you, I have a ton of them. So I love to use up my old ones. Tuck those away, and then, now these ones are current. I love these ones. These are our new in colors. The little butterflies. So I thought just a couple little butterflies up here would just finish it off perfectly. So I am using the Barely Blush, but they're super, super light. So maybe I'll just put those two up there. Should I put one maybe down here? Oh yeah, I like that. So now for the inside of my card, I just grabbed a piece of white here. What was I going to stamp on there? I did pull in just congratulations. Let me look at my stash here of old stamps. I know I have one that's more wedding themed. Let's see. Wishing all the happiness you can imagine. We don't want that because we have wishing you happiness here. I could do always and forever. Wishing you happiness and love, always and forever. Kind of like that. And then maybe if we do that in the gray, maybe we could add some of these flowers. Stamp that in the green. If we put that in the middle, we could do always and forever across there. That would look nice. Or I could stamp that there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Bring in that scrap paper. And soft seafoam is a pretty light ink. So we're gonna stamp that full strength. I could do just a bit of the floral up here. I don't know, what do you think? Even just a little bit more there, maybe. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we'll do always and forever with the basic gray. I think we'll just go right in the center there. Oh, you know what? I should have stamped it to make sure it was all inked. Oh, it's perfect. Okay. I've gotten used to stamping with the photopolymer stamps, and you can see if it's inked properly with our red rubber. It's always a good idea to stamp it on a piece of paper first to make sure that it's all inked up properly, then re-ink and give her a go. But it worked out. Make sure that's dry because that was nice and juicy. And we'll just pop that in there and we're all set. So I didn't follow exactly as Jay did this time, but I did take inspiration from his card. I liked the wood grain background, and then I did the 2 pots with flowers and the 2 pots with flowers. So similar, but not exact. But that's kind of the idea with casing other people's cards. You just take some inspiration from their cards and create your own work of art. All right, so thanks so much for joining me. I super appreciate it. If you liked my card, feel free to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you have a great week.